A single penny, doubled every day for 31 days, becomes over $10 million. And your brain literally cannot picture that without seeing it. Pull up this first chart on screen right now. This is a simple line graph with two lines. One line is labeled simple interest, the other is labeled compound interest. Both start at the same point. For the first few years, these two lines look almost identical. They are so close together you might think there is no real difference. That is the trap. That is the illusion that causes most people to underestimate what they are actually sitting on when they start investing. Keep watching that graph because around year 7 something happens. The compound interest line begins to curve. It does not just climb upward, it bends. The gap between the two lines starts widening slowly at first, then faster, then dramatically. By year 30, that gap is not a few $100s. It is hundreds of thousands of dollars. Simple interest only multiplies your original amount. Compound interest multiplies everything, your original amount, the interest from last year, the interest from the year before that, and so on forever. Now look at this second chart. This one shows what $100 a month actually becomes over time at different interest rates. We have 3 scenarios plotted here as separate colored bars grouped by time period. The conservative scenario in blue assumes 4% annually, roughly what you can earn right now in a high-yield savings account. The moderate scenario in green assumes 8%, which reflects a low-cost index fund tracking the 500 largest companies in the United States. The aggressive scenario in orange assumes 10 to 11%, representing a broader equity portfolio. At the 5-year mark, the blue bar sits at around $6,600. You put in $6,000, the account added about $630 on top. At this stage, the numbers look modest, and that honestly is a fair assessment. The green bar at 5 years sits around $7,348. The orange bar reaches between $7,700 and $7,900. The difference between conservative and aggressive at year 5 is only about $1,200. That feels small. Now keep watching what happens as time moves forward on this chart. At year 10, the blue conservative bar climbs toward $14,700. The green moderate bar pushes past $18,000. The gap is now widening noticeably. But year 10 is still not where the magic becomes truly visible. Bring your eyes to the year 20 marker. The green bar at 8% is now approaching $59,000 from just $24,000 in total contributions. More than half of that balance was never money you actually deposited. It was interest earning interest earning interest. Now look at year 30. This is where your jaw drops. The green bar at 8%, representing just $100 a month from age 25 to age 55, reaches approximately $149,000. You contributed $36,000 total. The other $113,000 was created entirely by time and compounding. It never came from your paycheck. It came from the mathematical snowball effect of returns generating their own returns year after year without asking your permission. Let us bring up chart number 3 now, and this one might be the most important visual in this entire video. This is a side-by-side bar comparison of 2 people. Call them Sarah and Maya. Same salary, same city, same job. Sarah starts at 25, contributing $100 a month at 8%. Maya waits until 35 because life got complicated, then doubles her contribution to $200 a month at the same 8% rate. Both stop at 65. And look at the bars at retirement age. Sarah's bar shows approximately $351,000. Maya's bar shows approximately $298,000. Sarah contributed less money in total. Maya contributed more. Yet Sarah still retired with $53,000 more than Maya. That is not motivational language. That is arithmetic. Time beat contributions. A decade of early compounding was worth more than doubling the amount going in later. There's a psychological reason most people do not act on information like this even when they see it clearly in front of them. It is called present bias. Your brain is hardwired to value today over tomorrow. Not because you are irresponsible, but because human cognition genuinely processes immediate rewards as more valuable than future ones, even when the future reward is objectively much larger. It is why a $100 bill today feels more real than a $149,000 balance in 30 years, even though the math connecting them is perfectly straightforward. Now look at this fourth chart. This one illustrates the cost of delay. Each bar represents what you lose in final balance by waiting just one additional year to start. Waiting from 25 to 26 does not cost you a few $100s in lost contributions. It costs you thousands in compounded returns that never had a chance to build. The bars in this chart get progressively smaller as you move later in life. Because a delay at age 45 costs far less than a delay at age 25. The earlier years of compounding carry exponentially more weight than the later ones. 1 year of hesitation at the start of a compounding timeline erases more value than 5 years of hesitation near the end. Here is the fifth and final chart. This one shows the compound interest effect working against you. This is a debt compounding curve. Credit cards in 2026 are charging between 22 and 28% APR. Look at that curve. It moves in the exact same shape as the wealth building charts, that same dramatic upward bend over time, but it is pointed directly at your bank account. The mathematical mechanism is identical. Compound interest does not care what side of the transaction you are on. It will build wealth for investors and extract wealth from borrowers using the exact same formula. The only variable is which side of the equation you choose to stand on. So what do you actually do with all of this? The behavioral science is clear. Motivation fades, automation does not. The single most effective action you can take after watching this video is to open a Roth IRA, set up an automatic transfer of $100 on the same day your paycheck hits, and never look at it as spending money again. Contributions to a Roth IRA are made with after-tax dollars, the growth is completely tax-free, and withdrawals in retirement cost you nothing. The 2026 contribution limit is $7,000 a year. $100 a month uses less than a fifth of what you are legally allowed to put in. The system does not wait for you to feel ready. The market opened this morning. Interest is compounding right now on accounts belonging to people who started while you were still thinking about it. The question is not whether $100 is enough. Look back at that growth chart. You already know the answer. The real question is what it costs you in future purchasing power and retirement security to not start today. That cost compounds every single month you delay, just like the returns do on the other side. There is never a perfect moment. There is only now, and now has a 30-year runway ahead of it if you use it. If this video gave you something useful, hit the like button and subscribe because we are just getting started on building the financial knowledge that actually changes outcomes.